All right, Sagittarius, this is your Grand Tableau Lenormand reading for the month period of August 2022. I see a lot of influx of visitors, potentially. This could be having to make financial moves this month. I see a lot of new beginnings and a lot of endings as well. So, ending cycles to begin new cycles. I see contracts or agreements that are promised. So, they could be legally binding contracts or agreements, or romantically binding contracts and agreements. I see people seeing you as a spiritual person. This could also be people seeing the burden that you carry or the struggles that you have more in a public manner. Finances, money, messages about money, new beginnings and endings. You could be paying off a financial debt this month, or at least working to figure out some financial moves that create new starts and end old stuff. This could have to do with bills that are a burden that you might be dealing with, that other people are being involved with, whether it be like a financial advisor or some sort of influx of information, written communication about a contract or a promise. So this could be having to do with a loan as well. For you women, I see more so the new beginnings in the future, and having to end some things to be able to start new things. In the past, there might have been some sort of answer to some confusion that's allowed you to end something and start something new. I'm seeing a jewelry box as well. So this could be something of significance for some of you. A diary is also here in the past. A diary is pretty secretive information, personal information. So the reason I say this is because the book and the key are right near each other. And that's a diary to me. And it's very more literal interpretation of it. You could be unlocking some information, or able to attain some information that wasn't easily accessed before, which would help make quick decisions about about a good friend that you have, or some spiritual decision. So this could have something to do with a spiritual thing, or I'll get more into that in a minute. A friend of yours could be depressed and going through some challenges. It might be keeping to themselves more. If you have children, they're very smart, very kind of mischievous, I'd say. Mischievous and mysterious heart as well. people are recognizing their children as being, people are recognizing your children. At school, this could be some issue that comes up. Maybe you had no idea that your kid was misbehaving at school, or getting, not necessarily getting into trouble, but just kind of, it's being brought to your attention that they're a little bit of an Eddie Haskell. It's the best reference I can make. Women that are in the medical field, the surgery comes into play. Some authority on cutting within the health industry. Also, the women could be figuring out something through a health professional about a way to, an answer to their confusion about having children as well. There could be there could have been some losses of children in the past due to miscarriage. But it seems like you're working with a professional to figure that one out. This could also have to do with what's going on in the public eye and politically for women, in terms of a cut within the medical field that has to do with children. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not politically charging this reading. This is just a reading, a general one. I see some people are happy being single. Not talking necessarily about the women per se, more so the men. I feel like if you are single and you're a man, then you'll be happy with just staying home and watching TV. It's not going to be a big deal that you're not in a relationship. For some of you, you could be, the men, you could be committing to a romantic getaway, or making relationship moves with a woman with brown hair and glasses. The snake and the whip, kind of an interesting combination. A love for being alone as well comes into play. Love of organization, an organization that's love-based, or love that's being committed in a building of some kind, an organization, progress, upward movement, motility with written communication. This could be traveling to see somebody that you promised to see but have only communicated by the written word so far. So this could have been a pen pal. This could be love at a distance through social media. There is travel here. Promised travel, and writing about the travel itself, and progress, upgrades for you men. Health of the heart comes into play. Commitments to moving more often. Seems like it's something that will be, maybe hikes in nature as well, to improve the health of the heart. There's a love of song here, and you might love singing at home when you're alone. A love is lessening for certain people, particularly the woman, in regards to a relationship. Women might be confused about ending a romantic relationship because they're not ready to express their feelings yet. They are confused, or maybe not understanding all of their feelings, or their feelings are fleeting. They're fleeting. Finances, there could be some lucky things that come into finance. Trips that could be financially beneficial. Big moves financially that might lead to a legacy. This could have to do with the family as well. There could be an argument with the family about a secret for all of you. There could be new challenges with an expanding kind of a growing kind of love, or challenges that are growing in terms of a love relationship, or at least the way that the world sees it, or the reputation that it has. It's a burden that everyone else is able to maybe see this, or a burden with the public eye. So it could be kind of clandestine for some of you. A friend could be having some, at a spiritual kind of dark night of the soul. A difficult decision that has to happen quickly in terms of some kind of struggle that's being seen. People are seeing it in a positive light for the most part, although it could be very challenging for the person going through it. Some leader having to do with ecology, somebody who was a naturalist could have some really intellectual insights that change some difficulty that society is having as well. Some people who are involved in the public eye, who are talented in some way, maybe they're earning finances from their talents in sort of the public setting. They're well loved by the public. They could be having a difficult time bearing the cross of everyone knowing their business. So stardom that's large and in charge, kind of being a burden, the public eye being a burden. They might love being alone, and it's hard to get alone time in. A man could gift something to someone, a gift that's financially abundant of some kind. It doesn't have to be money necessarily, but it would be worth a lot of money or worth a lot to you. For a good job, maybe. A decision that's a sacrifice. A path of sacrifice. Having very much to do with stardom, I believe, like big time stardom. Public eye, money, fame. This could be a friend of yours as well that's experiencing this. There could be some unforeseen communication or unforeseen anxiety about the loss, losing a woman, or give me 1 second. If you're going to gamble, being loyal to a business. Whew. Sometimes it all comes at you all at once here. The reason I say a jewelry box or some kind of box that's locked or trunk is because it could have been of somebody that has passed on, that was famous. I also see a shooting star. The path of a star becomes a burden, so that could have been some sort of thing having to do. I see a lot of like NASA stuff going on as well. Flying up high, dealing with the stars and the planets. Let's talk about work. If you're a writer and you're working as a writer, I feel like if you're a woman with brown hair and glasses, who wears glasses, you're going to be getting a lot of ideas really quickly. They're coming to you. Yeah. Whatever you're writing is going to be seen as an intellectual piece. Something that people can learn from. Or very clever. Big tree could be planted in honor of somebody. with a promise. I don't know why I said that. That's strange. Someone could be gifted a tree as well, or a plant. Home life. You could have a really nice time out in the backyard, being alone in your garden at night. Something significant about that. And this is an interesting combination. Being alone, the love of being alone, and the loss of a woman losing something. So I also see this as jewelry. There's a lot of jewelry here. There's a jewelry box. So just be careful if you're wearing like a necklace or something that you don't have it break in someone's backyard at night and you lose your jewelry on the ground. Those of you who have been dealing with somebody who hasn't been super honest with you, there could be some secret that has to do with somebody doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and it would be a repetitive thing, something that's happened before. Could have to do with the health. It could be smoking as well. an answer that could stump authorities. There's some confusion about some information. And this information could be something to do with somebody who's sneaky or some kind of job that was done. Spotlights at night at your house being difficult comes up. Career moves right now could make you very lucky. You might get some word about traveling for career. It would come in fast. And it would be lucky for you to communicate about this, or it'll be unforeseen communication about this. So yeah, fast. It will come in fast. You didn't think it was coming, but you could have a trip for work. Could be lucky for you. There could be some positive progress made with a visitor, or there's some sort of message or communication about a change that could be progress. It could be having to do with usually the stork can have some kind of like context about a baby, but I'm seeing it as like movement forward leads to good progress, and this progress, there's some sort of written communication about it, or this progress is being righted or written. So you could have some writing progress, or you could be writing about something that's going good in your life. And it could end up being a career thing, or it could have to do with your career. A tricky heart with the family. You could love, if you're a gardener or work with plants or outside, there could be a job here that's starting for you, having to do with that. One job could end so that this could begin. Or you could be ending a landscaping job, obviously, because the seasons are changing soon, and starting something else. Some of you could be a flight attendant. Writing progress. There's more writing here. Commitment to writing commitment to written communication. An editing of something that's been written, or an argument that is private as well. And this could have to do with somebody in the family who's been kind of toxic, and it's or is going through something toxic with their health, or a family's gift, something that's a snake and a whip. Cyclical, the snake eating its own tail. There's cycles here with the family. Or with a legacy or your heritage. Something that you know also that keeps happening over and over again. So there could be something that's inherited from the family line that's been a challenge or a problem. And I also see sharp words with the family. Could come up. And it's definitely the family, because I have the house also knighting it. So, and it's probably a man that you're having a difficult time with in the home. Could be a father figure. He would be very, very smart and very it's also saying intellect of a child, or intellect that's just smart but just starting out at something. So there's communication about some kind of pipes in the house. Excuse me. Pipes that are connected to other pipes that are blocked. There's a challenge with the connections. And it definitely has to do with water and the movement of the water. So take that as something that could potentially be a challenge. This could have happened before. Some sort of finances, messenger about finances, could be communicating from an organization that has to do with a trust and a commitment to move assets, or a promise to move assets, or commitment having to do with the movement of assets. So that could come into play. This organization could have to do with a man's home. So it's either the inheritance of something within the family, a trust, but it's a financial institution. It's talking about the home. So it could be the mortgage or something. There could be something that you do in quiet, repetitively in the home, that's a side hustle that's new to you, newer, or you're starting to do at home now. And it would be like, for most of you men, you might have like something that you build or create. You might get a new dog. He would be good-tempered. In the home? Yeah, I see that. A lot of people are bringing a new dog home. You probably are going to want to make sure that you teach him who's boss, because he might be a little confused about who's in charge, it's saying, at first. He's smart, or she's smart. A man with a lot of talents could have a good career. He just has to choose. So you might have multiple talents and it's difficult choosing which one to make in a career, but saying that there's a lot of potential here. A peaceful career, a harmonious career, something good. If you go out at night, it might be hard to see the stars one night because the clouds cover them for some reason. I don't know why you would be doing this unless it was like the communication about stars being something of a significance at home. A telescope? Star watching, a love for stargazing, at home, in the backyard at night. Yeah. If you're a woman, you could get some really big psychic hits this month that would come in fast, out of nowhere. Cutting through any, crossroads. So cutting through the crossroads, basically cutting out a decision. So you would be able to narrow down things pretty quickly with your intuition this month. If this has anything to do with movements or a car, a trip, you'll know what to do. Some people could have their children going through some big changes this month, and they might be seeming a bit of a difficult energy to deal with, and they might be seen as probably burdensome or struggle by those around you. That's just doesn't matter. That's just what it is. I don't know if I said this before, but a good friend could be depressed. It could be a big depression. It could be something more serious. So you might want to communicate with them. Maybe take her on a trip, if it is a girl or a woman. Take them on a trip somewhere. Changing things can lead to forward movement. Changing things up. Progress could be positive progress, could be making some unforeseen annoyances. There could be a letter about some work that needs to be done in the house if you're not an owner, wherever you're living, and you might have to, it might be taking away from a woman figure. So if you're a woman and you rent an apartment, there might be a letter from the landlord. And that could be kind of annoying. It could seem annoying, but in the end it would be good for the house. It'll be a beautiful change with this card here. If you take a trip to a city, you'll have a great time. You either fall in love with the city, especially if you're out at night. Kind of a morbid thing to say, but there could be, in the public sphere or in your private life, extended life, or whatever, there could be some information that you catch wind of that's about a child passing away from an illness. And the reason I say this is because the coffin falls on the mice house, and the child falls on the coffin, and it's next to the woman who's a snake. So, and the answer is the depression house, or the troubles house. And the troubles are big and difficult. So, I mean, this is not necessarily having to do with your life. This could have been just somebody in the news or something. There could be a new constellation that's discovered this month. Some new planet or something that's moving around the sun that we couldn't see because it was at a distance. a decision to cut a rock. So I've heard about this asteroid that's been coming towards Earth or something. There could be something that's put in the media about that we couldn't see it before, but now authorities are watching it, and they're going to cut it or shoot it and break it apart in the sky. I've heard this, so it's not like it's anything that's just coming through, but it's reminding me of it. What was good about real estate before might not be so great now in the house market. Seems like things will be calming down, or there'll be a lessening of things. There'll be losses. If this is the case, it would be not a good time to get a house. Selling is one thing. A letter about having to move home that's kind of annoying. A friend has to move and it's a burden. So this could be having to do with somebody you know and a connection you know, and they're having some troubles with work as well. And they might have to come and stay with you, a visit. That's a good thing for them. Positive progression of things. Could be lucky for you. Social communications here. Lucky communication. An older man could gift you something because they're getting ready to take a new path or a journey somewhere. If you are writing anything, if it's about health or working out, could have to do with extender cables of some kind or something. Like those or men's health. It would have to do with like Men's Health magazine or something. Some progress being made with men's health. If you get a new home or you're bringing a child into the home, I would just make sure that you proof the home for so that it's smart for a child to be there, or do smart things. And that could have to do with, instead of a child, it could be a baby, like a fur baby. This could have to do with an actual cord or a string. So it could have to do with the dog having like an outside, what do you call it? Like one of those dog extension cord things where they run back and forth across the yard and they're still able to roam freely. This could be beneficial to you. Instead of having to walk them all the time, just in case you're not able to do so at this time. So they actually get some exercise outside. Yes. That if the dog is kind of, you might not know that they're kind of aggressive a little bit at first. So I'd be careful about having them around other people in a public setting, unless it's your own yard, you know. They're a good dog. It says here, they're a good dog, but just be careful of taking extra precaution if they're a new animal. You don't know how they are with a bunch of different people. At a work party, you can make a really good friend. Or make a really good friend. There could be talk about putting in a garden at home. With the family. Somebody in the family could be communicating that they're excited about planting a garden. This could be a man that's talking about this. He could be a Pisces. Could be a woman too, but I got the man card there, so it's sticking. And it's also right next to it, so could be the leader of the house. Could be a public garden as well. A farmer's market. You can meet a friend at a farmer's market. Especially if you work on a farm, or if you have any secrets, they could be kind of wearing you down at this time, especially if they're about something that's kind of been toxic and that's happened over and over again. So, and if it has to do with the family, a man in the family, somebody having an addiction issue in the family, Could be communication that's written about there's an argument that started during communication, but it could have to do with like the movement of a family member. It's taken something. He could have taken something from a woman, or a woman could be taking something from somebody. It says loyalty and peace. Exposes a move to keep the peace, a burden that everyone sees, or a struggle. So there could have been something that happened within the family about somebody taking something from the home, or also if you get a dog, could help with a pest in the home or around the house. Chipmunks, whatever it is. They'd be a good hunter. Some kind of health authority could be stumped by something. I know I said that already, but it's coming up again. Also, so there could be something that comes out about eating disorders. In the media. It could have been a prominent woman. That announces her struggle with this. And she struggled with this since childhood. Could come forward. It would be new information that we haven't heard before. Dangerous animals, if you live in the wilderness around like a countryside or something, dangerous animals at night that you can't see. So just be wary of that. Maybe have a spotlight in your backyard at the house. That's why that's coming up. If your spotlight isn't working, you fix it so you can see what's going on. Uplifting news, something unforeseen is communicated, or lucky is communicated about something that's taking something away from a woman, or maybe it's talking about the subconscious. So this could have to do with a child. Oh, maybe not. Birds, communication. message, a progressive message. Lucky communication. This could be talking about something political having to do with women, and there being progress made with that. About rights, luck that is communicated, or small things. Maybe these two could be having to do with privileges or rights. But that's normally like an authority, so it's also a health issue. So yeah, there could be something about that comes up this month. I'm sure it will be, because everything's hot in the news right now. If you have lily of the valley growing in your yard and you just got a new dog, be careful and try to weed them out, or replace them. Replace them or misplace them because they're poisonous. And they could be on a path near your home, or near a walk path that the dog is on, or the path that's connected to the dog trail or chain or whatever it's called. The dog run. I guess I call it a run. The internet at the house might go down at some point. The answer would be a storm. So yeah, if there's a storm, your power, not necessarily your power, but your internet may go down for a bit. If you have any flights that require a connecting flight, just be sure that you've got everything covered, because there might be a change that you have to, and you might have to get a new flight. That's what it's saying. An ending is being taken away so something new can begin, which seems this could be a loss of innocence that starts changes in somebody. This could be having to do with something private, private instinct or nature. Could have to do with a woman coming of age. And she might keep this secret because she doesn't want somebody in authority to know that she's growing, or that there are about friends of hers. She doesn't want not to be allowed over somebody's house or something, or to be blocked from connecting with other people. You might communicate with somebody about some sneaky behavior that needs to end, so that something new can begin. And this could have to do with a child. There's so many different things that could fall under, so it's sounding like mumbo jumbo to me. For those of you who get some fish, you could have a pet fish that comes into play. There's an aquarium situation here. I see like a castle in water, and it's a commitment to deal with that. The promise of danger, a love of heights. Somebody could be, a man could be doing skydiving, or communicating with you about going on a love of heights, going skydiving. This is sky as well. Mountain is high. Sky is high. Skydiving. Love it. Progress is made, but there's an unforeseen loss or a lucky loss. You might make some progress with something lack of communication. Oh. The path of least resistance for the man with the talents. So he could be talented at making money as well. Somebody could steal the show. That's another thing I'm seeing. There's like, steals the public eye. Tricks that are loved, boxes with keys. This could have to do with a magician as well. Oh, the cutting of the box in half, yeah. A lessening of a woman. Yeah, so this is magician. I don't know what the significance of that is. An organization or business that's loved, a loss of a woman, or due to sickness. This woman could have been in a part of an institution of some kind. Brown hair and glasses. A woman could be sad about the end of a trip. I see that. Endings that are being taken, or a lessening of endings or change. There could be a lucky find while mining. Diamond mining could be ending. There could be less of it, less. Yep, diamonds of the mountain. So that's, they're diamonds, gems, precious stones. The decision to cut, a stop to taking away, a reputation of love. So there could be a big cut in quarrying or mining of diamonds, especially unethical ways of obtaining them. And that could be like a more of a social kind of movement. There could be progress or legislation made about this. And it would be in the media. You would hear about it. You could watch it on the television probably, when you get the info. There could be some secret sexual affair that is made public knowledge that no one saw coming. It's communicated by or to an authority that's supposed to be a family-oriented person. And this would be with other women, lots of other women. For you gentlemen, just be careful because visitations that repeat that are of with other women could lead to something growing that might be a challenge. Let me try that again. So, visits that are uplifting. There's a danger of repeating a cycle or doing something that happens over and over again that could be considered something to do with other women. And that could be leading to a bigger family. Or being in charge of a family. A man could have been found to have secret families or families scattered all over the place. And this could be secret, tricky other women. This man would be somebody in the public eye, and he would be part of an institution that you're supposed to trust. Unforeseen communication about this. Hidden communication about this. There's an exposing of unforeseen love at an institution or organization. There also could be an exposing of a lucky scenario when you're alone in regards to love. Visits to a place or a establishment that you're passionate about, that has to do with the public, and this could have to do with entertainment and film, the public eye, and it has to do with all those dreamy things like Hollywood and stuff right here. And there's a cut, there's a loss because of a death. And this would be because somebody is recognized for their achievements, they're admired, and it has to do with the heart. The heart comes up twice. So they either had a big heart or they had a heart problem. Could have had to do with surgery as well. Sudden death from surgery, or a death of somebody with a big heart that's in the public eye, who was a movie star, or a movie star, and they had been ill they might have been ill for a while, and were at a crossroads with their health. It might have been the family's decision at the end, because they might have been incapacitated. Yep, the family of the man. Personally, with career, for you Saggies, if you work in the jewelry business at all, you'll be making any kind of merchant type situation. Looks promising. Don't fight with anybody at work who is has been troublesome over and over again. They're a pretty big force to be reckoned with. Could be a little narcissistic. You might be coming into that in the future in career. So just take it with a grain of salt, I guess. I don't know. Exposing some... At work, something dangerous could be exposed that was little. So it could have been like, if you work in a business, like mold or something. Or exposing of toxins at work. Trusting a trustworthy organization you'll be working for. A bouquet. The beauty health industry or the wellness industry could expose something within your career about little things that we didn't really see, or they're little, they could have been like some sort of tiny sub thing that you work with, like something little that you use over and over again that might actually be poisonous, but it would be in the beauty industry, so probably makeup or something. Fish and the bouquet. That is possible, but exposing the dangers of trusting an organization within health and beauty. So if you're a journalist or a publicist or somebody who's working in that line of career, you could be getting a career quickly from this kind of information, or a career could be cut because of this. So just be mindful of that. A career that comes in fast because there's an exposing of some sort of toxicity at work. The organization would trust you, and it'd be like a family. A talented family. So that's kind of cool. Finances would be financial contracts with work that you can trust or rely on. There's forward movement and progress. Any losses, they'll be little in nature. There may be a gift of money that ends up being lost by a woman or taken from a woman, that, or there's a lessening of a woman. Beauty of loss, a cut that is a decision. lot of beauty. Oh, I can't get it. I keep forgetting what's underneath. Could be a sickness of a woman. A lot of beauty that makes other women sick. Or a woman sick. A cut at the crossroads. A decision, a cut that is taken away. A decision that comes in fast. Inability to see who's in charge of this new change, or ending that begins. All right, Sagittarius, my battery's running low. I see financial movements being made and progress with that. I see new beginnings that lead to endings and vice versa. I see contracts that are written and written promises, and that can stem from work and love and romance coming in. I also see a burden of spirit, or a spirituality that is seen, a reputation for being spiritual. So those of you who are involved in the psychic realms, the start of challenges that are connected. So you could be beginning to start learning astrology, astrology. I see that heavy here, and you'll love it if that's what you're into, or what you're going to be into. The movement of the planets across the sky, an authority on forecasting, or not being able to see things that other people can't. That's really cool. It's a cool reading. A man may gift you something that's old, and you might feel like, wow, that's quite the sacrifice, or decision to sacrifice something. He's the answer to this abundant gift, or some financial matters, and it could have to do with a good career. So just think about that, and I'll see you in September. Bye.